G'day everyone, today I am in southern New South Wales, just over the Victorian border at the Ettamogah Rail Hub. I've been lucky enough to be invited in to tell you all about, well, what goes on here. So we're going to head inside and check it all out. Let's get into it. The Ettamogah Rail Hub is located about 10 kilometres north of the regional city of Albury in New South Wales, which is about 265 kilometres from Melbourne and 545 from Sydney. The Rail Hub is a container handling, intermodal transport facility, providing a rail transport option for national and international freight to and from the Albury-Wodonga region. Ettamogah Rail Hub has its own rail sidings, with direct access to the main Melbourne to Sydney rail line as well as the Hume Freeway. The hub commenced operation in July 2009 and has been expanding over that time to handle more freight. They even have their own fleet of expanding rolling stock and engines, like former Victorian Railways locomotives Y151 and Y115. Both painted in private rail hub liveries, which I think look rather good on them. During the time I visited, reactivation work had begun on this locomotive, former Victorian Railways locomotive T409, with work being done by a number of local volunteers supported by the Rail Hub. They also have a number of other locomotives in their collection, mainly Y, T and P class locomotives, and most of these are ex-Pacific National or Freight Australia locomotives, and all are awaiting varying degrees of work or being used as a source of parts. Also in Ettamogah's collection is a pair of the most unique bits of railway traction, the German-made cargo sprinters. These were imported back in 2002 by CRT, and then after that bought by Colin Rees. Now, unfortunately, on the day that I visited, they were tucked away in the former Visy paper plant sidings. But sometimes they are out in the open. Although they don't see mainline action in 2023, there are always rumours that one day these will come back to operating condition again and be visiting an intermodal near you. Along with that, there also looked to be a Massey Ferguson shunting tractor, which has been left in the former Visy paper sidings. Now, the hub sees frequent trains stopping and dropping off or collecting goods. The hub houses a little bit of everything, and at the time of my visit, there were empty cement wagons, flat cars awaiting containers, paper packaging, various steel products, and an assortment of rolling stock, and even a former Vline standard gauge N-set, which was awaiting transfer to Tailem Bend in South Australia. The hub is expected to expand over the next few years, what with the Inland Rail project passing by, so I guess we can only wait and see what happens next. Now, this has a very interesting track arrangement, especially from the yard up a further spur to the now unused Visy paper mill, so you're probably thinking this would make a great model railway. Well, you'd be right, and an excellent model railway has been built of the Ettamogah Rail Hub in HO scale, which can be seen at a number of exhibitions throughout a normal year. The layout is operated by the Murray Model Railway Modelers. This large and well-detailed layout is always a crowd favourite. The layout shows the rail hub, and they do try to keep it as accurately portrayed as they can. So when a new road is added or a new building, they update the layout, so it's almost never the same twice. The layout even features the cargo sprinters and the custom painted Y classes. As well as that, of course, there are trains running around the layout to represent the various eras of trains that visited the area. Now, Albury is always an interesting place to visit, with lots of interstate freight movements. as well as the XPT, which I made a video about travelling on here. As well as that, it's also riddled with a lot of former railway lines, like the Cudgel line that passed through the former Bandiana sidings and out past Huon. And I think next time I head up there, that might be the area that I visit. Or you can even visit the beautiful railway station, which was once home to the break of gauge, where the Victorian broad gauge met the New South Wales standard gauge. Now, I wasn't just up there to visit the rail hub, I was up there for the Albury Model Train Show, which I did make a video on here, and I think that's a pretty good excuse to visit the area.
So there we go, that's what's going on at Ettamogah. Now, just a quick word, this is a private rail hub and a private facility, so you cannot just show up here. In fact, you have to be invited or working here to come along. So please don't come out here just because I made a video on it, but you can see it from the freeway. Anyway, thank you all so much for coming along, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And of course, I will see you all again soon. Hooroo.